Hey, young Chris here from Production Coaching Civil Earthworks. In this short video, I wanted to discuss something, just a personal attitude that I had when I first started operating haul trucks to where I am now. I'm just getting a good understanding of just the differences of how I treated them at the start, which I disrespected them in some regard, to where I am now to have a full understanding of the best way to operate the machine and the best chances you're going to get to be lucky enough, like myself, being put in other machines, and obviously getting that good feedback from your bosses where they might want to take you to different jobs because they just know that you're a very competent operator. So when I first started, I thought load and haul, it's all very simple. But in general, as just say for a hobby of myself right now, and like I've always been a bit of a track junkie, I love riding my bike on the racetrack. And I'll bring it down to this little example here where I've seen it when I see it now with some of the younger operators, even some of the older operators, and also, like I said, how I used to operate it. I thought the best way to go is just pretty much go hell for leather, obviously, doing just going flat out everywhere. And it honestly will not pay to do that, because at the end of the day, if you pass someone and you get one extra load, I can almost guarantee you your supervisor the next day is not going to turn around and say, oh, you're the best operator, you got that one extra load. I highly doubt it. You're more likely going to get some negative feedback from your other truck operators on how inappropriate you're driving the machine. So in this scenario, let's call it load and haul. I believe I use it as kind of like a racetrack. You know what I mean? For the main example of going down the back straight in a V8 supercar race or a MotoGP race, that person that can go the fastest down the straight is not necessarily going to be the one that's going to be the fastest around the entire circuit. So I've created this little analogy here, is roughly saying, let's cut these off here and these off here. So you can we'll call the straight here, so obviously A to B. And that's roughly once you've been loaded to where you're going to unload. So your corners, and this is where you want to be smooth, this is where you want to be fast, actually be the best operator. You got your load point, let's say A here is your load point, and obviously your next corner is your tip-off point. You're tipping off to a compactor or something that's going to be tipping off. If you want to be the smoothest and the fastest operator and the most competent operator, you've got to have a full understanding that once you've been loaded and you're going from point A to point B, there's really no point in actually flogging the shit out of the machine, because a lot of the time, some of the key parts on the actual circuit of load and haul, you're going to have undulating area, you're going to have corners, you're going to have ramps, you're going to have different conditions. So from point A to point B, it is honestly best to just operate the machine smoothly. In big companies, you might have speed limits, and it is honestly better to just follow the speed limits. Because you don't, in this area here, you want to minimise any risk where you're going to have an incident, because at the end of the day, the supervisor's not going to pat you on the back for getting that extra load. He or she's going to be more upset if you've had an incident because you're not operating the machine properly. And it's about key of getting the corners right, because like a racetrack and like a full race, the person that's going down the straight's not always the fastest. It's a person around the entire circuit. It's a person that's hitting these corners correctly and smoothly and fastly, it's not even a word, and fast, are the ones that actually win the V8 race. So I've kind of given you an example to maybe not encourage you. I'm trying to encourage you not to flog the shit out of the machine, but this was the best way I was able to explain it in the way I can, because I'm a passionate rider. And obviously your next corner, you want to get this smooth. So when we talk about smooth, like I've discussed in some of my other videos, it's about backing up to the machine correctly, obviously getting in a position, getting to where you're meant to stop, and obviously waiting for the signals to get going. So not sitting there and waiting for him to blast the horn 3 times because you might have missed it. So it's being ready. It's about being in a position as soon as you hear that horn, you're out of there. And the same one here is obviously once either the operator signified where he wants it, or you've obviously, you know exactly where you've got to tip it in the first place. It's about coming in nice and smooth, bend up, bend down, get out of there, and get back to your haul circuit. So I want to discuss that in a way because when I first started, I was roughing the machines, and it does more damage to the machine, and it does damage to you to some regard. I still remember one day where I was just moving topsoil, and it was a bumpy circuit, and my whole idea was to try to get that in front of that other truck. And at the end of the day, I kind of felt a bit beaten up. I was a bit more tired, a bit more fatigued because of it, because I had to concentrate a little bit more. And then the next day I come in and I just cruised, and I didn't get any more loads than the previous day, and I felt better at the end of the day. And I was obviously better on the machine. So some of these things were the key points in my career where I've moved up and moved on and actually matured as an operator, to actually understand that it isn't about being the absolute fastest. It's not about catching up to the next truck. It's just about getting loaded nice and smoothly. It's about going from point A to point B nice and smoothly, and obviously tipping off nice and smoothly. And everything will just flow. And like one of my major sayings is, smooth is fast. Another thing we'll discuss in this regard here, one second. One thing I know for a fact, that when I was operating at Paulie, and I actually caught up to the second truck within the haul circuit, I got to the digger, and he's now got two trucks there, where if I was doing my job properly, there would have been that more separation, which would have given them a bit more time. And obviously, it would have meant that I wasn't just sitting there stopping, because 9 times out of 10, you might get a supervisor or someone drive past, and all he sees is trucks backed up, and he's wondering why. Is there too many trucks on the circuit? Is this operator not doing their job right? What's going on? So it's just a little bit of a point that you probably bring on. So yeah, ideally you want that separation, because everything just runs smoothly and more better. So hopefully this has been beneficial, because it was something that I wanted to share, because I've grown from actually being young and silly and operating the machine like an idiot, where I was actually giving myself more potential of having an incident or a rollover or anything like that, to someone that's just happy to just do exactly everything as smooth as possible. And I'm doing the same amount of loads that I was before, not beating myself up, not as stressed. So it is key. And at the end of the day, like I said at the start, the next day, the supervisor's not going to tell you that you've done an extra load because you're good. It's a positive communication that you're going to get from the digger, or just generally the other operators, and it's a talk that happens in the crib rooms and stuff like that, where they're talking about, I got here, he gets under the machine, he hits it every single time, he hits it perfectly. And this person here also doing the talk in the crib room, saying, he tips his load and he's out of there before I know it. And that's when you know that you're one of the best operators out there, and one of the most competent ones. So that's what you want to see. Don't worry about the supervisor. It's these guys, it's your team, that you get the most joy out of actually getting it right. So hopefully this has been beneficial. Stay tuned if you like these, and some of these are they're benefiting you in any way. I'm going to do a fair few series. I'm going to do series on actually coming in and working within compactors and dozers, and I'm going to do more on communication as well, and even some on leadership. So like this, subscribe if you want, because I'm going to try to endeavour to get at least 1 or 2 videos out every week moving forward. So thank you.